So we are now day 37 of the Donald Trump shutdown. I want to give you the latest, and let's just jump right in. So first, this is SeaTac Airport, the Seattle airport in USA, and they got a sign out front, free food, thank you federal workers. And basically what's going on, people are really struggling, so they're doing food drives at the airport in front of the terminals. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. I grew up in the Portland area, so I'm familiar with this airport. For those of you guys who have seen this at other airports going on right now in USA, please let us know. I'll just say this. It says a couple different things. One is people are really struggling, right? They're not getting paid. They're deemed essential workers. They have to go to work. And then you got to put food on the table like the rest of us, right? And then the other thing it says is that Americans are helping out each other, which is what it should be. It shouldn't take a government shutdown to like have this kindness and caring for each other. We should be doing it all the time, right? But this is the adversity that we're facing at the moment. I also want to show you the effect on regular people's lives as they're flying.
But it just comes at a bad time. I mean, not just because we're traveling this weekend, but because Thanksgiving's coming. So hopefully this gets fixed before then.
Are you traveling for Thanksgiving?
We are. We're going to Atlanta. So we're going from Austin to Atlanta over Thanksgiving. And today we're even thinking about canceling that trip.
They don't deserve that. They're hardworking people. They should be paid. And the government should open back up and get these guys paid immediately.
I feel an extreme appreciation for them, just the dedication for them to continue working without being paid. It speaks a lot to their characters.
And I think a lot of people can really understand and appreciate how tough it would be to go to work without getting paid. You can also see this. This is another airport. This is in Evansville. They're doing a food drive there also. It says during the shutdown, TSA employees at Evansville Regional Airport continue to show up and keep travelers safe, even though they aren't getting paid. We want to show our dedication, right? They're donating food. Not only are we donating food at the airports, which again, it shows the positive and negatives of the USA right now. Positives because we have good people who care about others, and negatives because we shouldn't be in the situation. We're also wondering if the Trump people are going to release the funds for SNAP, right? Which is the food money. Tammy Duckworth says, this was a judge that recently said, Trump, you got to release it all, got to pay it all Friday. This judge ordered Trump administration to release all its SNAP funding by Friday because in its own words, quote, children are immediately at risk of going hungry. Tammy Duckworth says, how sick do you have to be to appeal that order? Our president straight up wants kids to starve. And I want to give you a perspective on like a good metaphor to think about the money and where it's going. Listen to this.
Each of the soda cans here represents $100 billion. These are the tax cuts that the Republicans enacted, the majority of which goes to the wealthy and to corporations. On this side, these are the tax credits that they let go away that will cause the health care premiums of ordinary people now to double. Over 1 million Georgians will see their health care premiums double because the Republicans don't want to do this after doing this. I don't think that makes much sense, morally or practically. And so they're shutting down the whole government for this, which means premiums for ordinary people will double on average. This is not about resources. This is about priorities. I say fund healthcare and reopen the government.
So that was Senator Warnock, and I think he's got a brilliant visual representation of how to think about, right, the imbalanced system that we have in USA. If we wanted to fund food, if we wanted to fund healthcare, we totally could. It's not about resources, it's about priorities. Now, I do know there's some people out there that hate federal workers, I guess. They hate their fellow citizens. They're like, oh, just fire everybody. Well, I want you to listen to a worker and have a listen to what they have to say.
I just figured if everybody stopped working and turned in their 2-week notice and found jobs that would pay them, the government can't hire new people because they're not willing to pay. If we all quit, do you know how long it would take for somebody else to like come in and retrain and to be able to do the jobs that we do now? Literal years. We're not just like quickly replaceable. Our training isn't 2 weeks long. I've been at this current agency for like 5 years now, and I started as one job. I did that training, took me like a year to get through, and then did that job for a while, got promoted to a different job, did that training. The job that I'm in now has 2 parts to it. So I did one part of training, then I went to a different part of the training, and I started the second part of training last November, and I'm still in it. So if you think that it's just like, oh, we can just quit, go find another job, and then somebody else can do our job when the government reopens and decides to pay people, who? Nobody just knows how to do this. It takes years of training to get to a point where you can do things by yourself. And if all the people who have been here for 10, 15, 20 years decide to quit, the people that have been here for a year or 2 years or are just going to be starting out are going to have no idea how to help you.
And if you listen to the description of it, it makes sense, right? If you push out senior people, they can't train new people, right? If everyone just quits something, you can't just bring in a bunch of new people. There's all this institutional knowledge that we're losing because remember, Trump and Musk want to fire everyone. This is why we're having the system that we are having where everything's melting down. You can see it. And I always think it's important to hear it from, people and boots on the ground, what they're experiencing. While this is going on, Elon Musk got his $1 trillion pay package. Wow. Congratulations, Elon. Tesla awards Elon Musk $1 trillion payday after board warned he might walk away. They were so worried that Elon was going to leave unless they gave him the trilly. And this is Elon dancing. So Elon got his pay package. He's a dancing. He's hanging out with his robots that are probably puppet controlled. And it's so absurd. I don't know what else to say. It's so absurd. And I'll do a separate video on the Elon and the dumb stuff that he said. Yes, he farted several times. But this is just a good representation of how imbalanced our system is in USA. Listen to this. This is a senator from Texas.
On my way to Austin today, and I passed by the Tesla plant. Elon Musk is about to become a trillionaire on the backs of the American taxpayer. Because of Trump's big ugly bill, this guy, through his shareholders, they're about to make him the first trillionaire in the world after government subsidies that he's been given, government contracts that he's been given, not just here in Texas and beyond in Washington, you name it. While ordinary Texans and people across this nation are struggling to get SNAP benefits, are struggling to maintain health insurance, auto insurance, just the price of the grocery bill. A family of 4, now it costs over $400 a week to feed. How do we make it in America with greedy hogs like this that just want to screw us over and over again? It is time that we push back against this Trump agenda, this agenda that is all about billionaires and millionaires, and give back to the people what's theirs. This is a government of, for, and by the people. We deserve more than a government for a few billionaires to screw the rest of us.
I think it's important to show this kind of stuff, right? There are definitely people that are pushing back against Trump. You saw it in the election. You'll see it in the polls. Look at this. Most Americans back extending Obamacare, tax credits amid government shutdown. And I was looking at the numbers, and I'll just read it. It says, the poll found about 3/4, right? 3/4, or 74% of U.S. adults are in favor of extending the tax credits, which are set to expire at the end of the year. This is essentially a messaging war is where we're at the moment, right? The government shut down. We can all see that. Each side blames each other. I have my point of view on this. I want to hear yours. But all these things, I just look at just regular people's point of view. And when you look who's on the Republican side, and they're just like, hey, we got to get, Elon Musk has $1 trillion. Oh, wow, fantastic. Hey, we got to build all these AI data centers, right? Fantastic. Let's replace everyone. Like, it's pretty obvious who has your, best interest at heart. Listen to more voices. This is a representative on the Democrat side.
But they need to get back to work.
And that's what the hope is, right? We know that right now, right? Republicans are crushing people. They're crushing working class people, making folks choose between their paychecks, between eating, between SNAP benefits, between LIHEAP, right? Is cruel. And that is a false option. What we're arguing for is that, yeah, we absolutely can open this government right now and we do not have to sacrifice people's health care or their food. So we want people to recognize that as we talk about this, we can have it all, and we have to reject any narrative that tells us that working people have to choose, that working people have to choose between one struggle or another. Our government is here to serve those needs, and this shutdown is fundamentally about that. So we just want you to stay tuned. We wanted to just come in with this update that we have broken a record, and it's not a good one.
And she's referring to the government shutdown, now 37 days, heading towards 38, the longest in history. And I think the message, again, is good. It's good to look at all this stuff, right? We don't have to choose between food and healthcare. We can have it all in USA. The resources are there. Yet we're celebrating Elon Musk getting his $1 trillion. This is Elon. He's posting about Mars and crap. Someone says, Elon's end goal is and always will be a self-sustaining civilization on Mars. Yes, he's still talking about this crap. Every single side quest is either to fund it or to stop Earth from dying before that happens. Can't have Mars and humanity's wiped out here on Earth. Well, if you really did believe that, Elon, then you wouldn't be pushing for your trilly. You would actually be trying to help regular people. Like, seriously, Elon could help everyone in the USA. Like the snap of his fingers, he could just help people. But, you know, this is what Elon says. He says, if America falls before consciousness beyond Earth is self-sustaining, it is game over, maybe forever. Forever. That's from Elon. Elon also says, if civilization drops below the tech level needed for interplanetary spaceflight, before making the multiplanetary, that could be the end of consciousness. It's all a grift, isn't it? Obvious? It's so ridiculous. That's Elon. And this is the USA right now, guys. And that's why I wanted to show you the various different points of view. But I think Senator Warnock had the best one where this isn't necessarily about resources, it's about priorities. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Please stay safe out there, and I'll catch you all in the next video.